every aspect of this live entertainment industry is a mystery. All you get to see is the big artist up there on the stage. You pay for your tickets. If you're lucky, you get the tickets. And once you are in, you stay there for a few hours, enjoy every single minute of it, and you step out with memories for a lifetime. But there are some people who work absolutely day in and day out to ensure that this event is made possible, those memories are created for you. And joining us in the studio now is Thomas Ovesen. He is one man who's put 20 years of his life doing just this. Yes, by the side, he's won some awards, he's done some really amazing artists, and ensured that we've created memories for life. Thomas, welcome once again to Talk 100.3.
Thank you so much. That was very kind of you.
Thomas, there's a very interesting news that has come out, and we've got to know that All Things Live, the Middle East section, the Middle East department, or the Middle East arena that has been opened up, and you'll be heading the entire setup. How did this entire thing come about?
So first of all, as you said, I've done events across the region for years, and the credit that you're paying for all the hard work behind the scenes, obviously credit to my team members, because over the years I've been able to position myself as the guy that books the content, and then fortunately have an amazing group of people around me that help put it on, work the late hours, making sure, as you say, people can enjoy the show. That creates memories. So the business. If you take all the fun and glamour away, the business is like any other business, cutthroat in particular. It's heavily relying on cash flow. It's a business that's a volume business. So within live entertainment, there's some global operators that are pretty much everywhere, and some of them in this market. And if you really want to maximize your business and increase the volume and the frequency of events, you have to be part of a global operation. So coming back after the pandemic, we put a couple of Bieber shows on sale last year, sold it out, and then unfortunately he wasn't able to perform the shows. We had 50 Cent, and during those events and promotions, we were talking to international companies about how we could expand in the Middle East as fast as possible, how we could ensure that Middle East gets its fair share of the biggest touring artist in the world. And one of the global operators that we spoke to was All Things Live, which is a network out of Europe with some interest in North America. And they saw an interest in teaming up, basically helping us with the resources. We can pool offers, and it allows me to expand the business faster than I could do on my own. So it's just what it means for the ticket buyer is more events on a more regular basis and better quality events and the best artists in the world.
I like the way you say that, it's your team and not just you. And rightly so. I mean, it takes literally a country to get an event, of the likes of Guns N' Roses and others that you've done, Beyoncé, Prince, you name them, and you literally brought them here in the region. Now, when I talk about the region, it's not just UAE anymore. Qatar has opened their doors. Saudi Arabia is very, very aggressive when it comes to, getting more content in there. How do you see, the region growing from here on beyond just UAE?
Yeah, I mean, every market has its own unique attributes, I guess. But let's face it, if Saudi hadn't opened up for live entertainment, Dubai would probably still be the leading entertainment destination in the region, but we wouldn't have the volume of content coming in, and everyone living in any other country than Saudi Arabia in the region will benefit from what's happening there.
Right.
It's just incredible. I'm in the business of acquiring rights to put on big artists for shows, and here's a country that is investing billions of dollars in bringing them to the market. So while sometimes there'll be a competition with securing those artists, in most cases it's just fantastic for the surrounding countries what's happening there.
Now, when you say, there'll be competition in securing artists, how does the entire process work? Like, I'm sure that you follow a step-by-step process from getting the artist to signing up to the venue and then getting the tickets done. How does it all work?
Yeah, actually there isn't necessarily a set way that it happens. You can, as a promoter, you can be known for different things. You can be the guy that pays the most money. That's not a sustainable business, but but there's always one of those guys around. And then you could be known for the guy that never pays the best money, but always is a pair of safe hands.
Right.
And so if you are an agent or an artist manager and you're a bit worried about putting your artist into a market that they haven't been to before, then perhaps you'll choose to work with that person. In the end of the day, though, it's a business plan. And so when an artist starts tour planning, the agents will normally reach out to the promoters they know across the world and say, if we were to do a show in Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Cairo, what would you suggest we could do? How many tickets could we sell at what ticket prices? And then we base a business around that, and I submit an offer, and others will do the same. And eventually, the artist management might pick me because my offer is best, or might pick me because we have a relationship and a proven track record. So that's one way of how it goes. Sometimes we might target a particular artist that we think the market really needs now, and that's when it can get a bit frantic. And when coming from this part of the world, some people sitting on the artist side all the way over in Los Angeles might think that the big fees and the big offers they've heard about from Dubai, Abu Dhabi or Riyadh means that they should be able to double the fees of what they normally get. So sometimes things just run out into the sand, if you like, or we end up paying premium money. And I guess if you look at ticket prices in this market and compare them to back home in India or in Europe or in North America, we are pretty much at the top of what you can do with ticket prices. So sometimes we can warrant those artist fees, and sometimes it's just not going to work.
Now, you mentioned that the challenges that artists at sometimes have because they don't know which promoter that they need to probably target, and especially if it's an uncharted venue. Similar challenges come on the promoters too. Right, the artist probably like Bieber couldn't perform due to his illness. What are the other challenges that a promoter probably could be facing if something goes wrong?
Oh, if something goes wrong, yeah. I mean, if something goes wrong? The ultimate something goes wrong is that an artist cancels a show, or that you're forced to cancel the show because of weather or
that's right, yeah.
National mourning or whatever it could be. I think it's just you make sure that you insure yourself. So you need to make sure that the ticket buyer is kept whole, because that's your business.
Right.
So if you upset a fan, perhaps you can get away with it once or twice, but they're your business. So back to my sort of illustration of how some promoters perhaps get known for paying more money than others. There's a couple of other ways of killing your business, and that would be to treat your fans bad. So I think you make sure that you cover all eventualities in insurance-wise and whatever. But sometimes you just can't manage it. Bieber didn't just cancel his shows in Dubai. He canceled 70 shows.
Right.
So that wasn't going to be. We made sure everyone got their ticket money back in full. And then I hope that when next time someone sees my company name on an event, they're not going to worry about buying a ticket, because they know that whatever happens, at least their money is protected.
Which is true. But, I'm sure that, as a promoter, that there are artists that want to come to this part of the world, and you as a promoter say, no, I don't want to work with him. I mean, without naming those artists, could you cite some reasons why a promoter would say, no, not this artist, but the other?
Yeah, I guess it also, depends on why you're in this business. If you're too emotionally attached to your business, perhaps it's a different thing. I think it's important to treat it as a business. So in principle, I'm in the business of selling tickets. So if you, Neil, if you have a crowd in Dubai, I should be able to put you on a stage and sell the maximum number of tickets at the best overall ticket price. And that's how I should promote you. And then it shouldn't matter whether I personally like what you do or not. But of course, there's some artists that come with a bad reputation, and you might worry about in this market if it's a spoken word show, like yours, I guess. If it's a spoken word show, can we manage to ensure that they don't say things they shouldn't say? Yeah. Or if it's an urban artist and they go crazy on stage, and will they honor the limitations that we put on them, that kind of thing. But I tend to deal with the very sort of commercial artist and they have been through that mill and they've been taught well. But of course, there's artists that you have to worry about. And I've had a couple of incidents, perhaps, where artists inadvertently or deliberately have put themselves in trouble, and perhaps you pay attention to that, and then you don't book them again. Unless you get, people have said to me, would you book Justin Bieber again? I mean, if there's 5,000 people or 50,000 people that want to buy a ticket to see him, then why should I not do it? I think I can promote him better than anyone else. So, water under the bridge.
Which is a fair call, and it like you mentioned earlier, it wasn't just that he cancelled the Dubai show, and for health reasons he had to cancel. Now, with your partnership with All Things Live, where does this take us as far as entertainment is concerned? What can we expect once the summer is down and the sun sets in easy?
Well, before you hit the beats, Neil, for your break, we will make some fantastic announcements. So over the next couple of weeks, we're going to roll out autumn shows both here in the Middle East and in India, and we have some even Q1 shows next year that will be announced before summer. Unfortunately, I can't announce it right now, but we'll make sure to come back on your show and release the good news when time is right.
We love that.
But basically, across urban, contemporary pop and rock and even hard rock, we have some of the biggest artists in the world coming, and that's a result of my team's efforts and the many years we've been in the market, and the doors that the collaboration and partnership with All Things Live have opened, and the fact that there's now artists taking multiple bookings in Europe, say with All Things Live, and deciding to add another with us here because we're part of that family.
Now, this is incredible. Such partnerships always enable, a smooth journey for the artists and for the fans as well. Because now I know that, with All Things Live's, a library of artists that they have, or the relationships that they have with artists that perform in Europe, there is a bridge that's been created that brings them straight to UAE. And with your keen eye on those artists and your ability to pull in the right set of promotion and crowd, I think the event that we expect to come in soon in autumn will be a big one.
There'll be some amazing shows, and actually there's two sides to it, I guess. One, we have access to the offer structures and the ticket sales for past events with All Things Live, so we can do better offers. We can go tighter to that very fine balance between paying maximum and paying too much. So we are a better buyer for the artist, if you like. But also we are now able to look over the shoulders of our colleagues in Europe doing some of the biggest festivals and shows, and pick up on some new features that would excite people when they attend our shows here in the Middle East.
No, we were definitely looking forward to a lot more coming in from All Things Live and you, Thomas. It's been a pleasure to host you in the studios and this conversation. As much as we love for you to tell us the secret, we'll hold it out. We'll wait it till you officially can announce, and we'll host you again on our show and tell the world what we are up to.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thomas Ovesen coming in with All Things Live, and a lot more coming up in this part of the world on